Hi, and thank you for joining us on the Road to Recovery. I'm Ronda Jackson, your host, serial entrepreneur, and small business advocate. And today we have the honor and privilege of having Miss LaSonya McPherson, CEO of McPherson Berry Associates, join us on a very interesting conversation looking at employership on the employee side as well as on the employer side. Thank you for joining us, LaSonya. How are you
Thank
today?
you for having me. Looking forward to it.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Do you mind sharing just briefly a snippet of what McPherson Berry does for the communities that you serve?
Yeah, so think of it like this. McPherson Berry is your HR partner to help you strengthen your brand to deliver, strengthen your capacity to deliver on your brand. So most of the time people think about marketing, finance, but one of the other crucial areas is human resources,
Okay,
your
so
HR, your talent management.
human capital. Yes, it is indeed. And that's one of the areas that we're going to discuss today because one of our most valuable assets as employers, right? We're low on little funds. That talent actually helps us with our revenues. So the other thing I've asked guests to do is to share with me one word that they would use to describe where we are right now in the world. What word would you use?
The word that I would use would be intentional. We need
Oh,
to be more intentional.
I like that. I like that. So some ownership, some empowerment. I like
Yes, everyone taking ownership. And if we want to see things change or if we want to do things, what are we personally doing to make it happen? And then planning around that, supporting those things that you want to see happen,
okay.
being intentional.
So as a fellow business owner, where would you think we would start with that intentionality with regards to our businesses and maybe layoffs and the other challenges that we have in balancing our human capital right now?
Right. And I think, as the business owner or the executives or teams, the key things you have to figure out is now be intentional about the fact, how do we stay in business and how do we continue to operate? So
Okay.
once you readjust your strategy, readjust your plan, then now we're ready to look at how we're going to deliver on that. How we're going to make sure we have the capacity to make those things happen. Because you could put a plan out there, you can have goals, you can have a vision,
Right.
but if you're not executing on them and have the support to have it happen, you're not gonna get the results that you're looking for.
Okay, so if we've made this plan, and let's just say it's a solid plan, because I know that a lot of us have pivoted our business. That's been a big, big buzzword for us. So, how would that pivot look from a human resource capacity?
Like none other time, we need to really take a whole holistic look at our talent. And when I say taking a holistic look at our talent, most of the time businesses focus on payroll and benefits, right? So
Mm.
now we got to step back and look at it from this standpoint. What you may be doing, if you pivoted your business, what you're delivering on has changed. So you need to now look at your talent, the skill of your people. Do they have what you need in order to help make this happen? And
Uh-huh.
then you got to do those things behind the scenes as business owners and as from an operational standpoint. Do your job descriptions align? Do you have the right policies in place? Have you updated your policies to support now the direction that you need to go in? And then the other part is, what are you doing to equip and support your people in making this happen?
So, what I hear you saying, let me just make sure that I'm getting what you're saying. So, we've made the pivot. So
Mhm.
now we've got to align the team that's going to help us deliver on that pivot
Right.
with new, possibly, or revised job descriptions, right? So this
Hmm.
used to be your job, and now this and these other things are your job, yes. And
Yes.
then, but now you're touching on some developmental things that might need. So you're saying that we can, I guess, go on. Please elaborate on that. Like,
Yeah. So think about it like this. I would call it the three P's. You got your people, your processes, and productivity.
okay,
So yes. So those are the three P's, not of marketing, but of HR. So now that you have your people in place, you need to step back and look at the job descriptions. Do they align now with the position or what you would like to have them do? Because
okay,
remember, a job description is like a contract. So when you hire someone for a particular job, this is the agreement that you have on what they're going to deliver on.
yes,
Now you can make changes, and that's when you need to look at now, do you need to make those changes? How
okay.
are you going to hold them accountable for something that they may not be doing anymore?
I like that word. And so now, so can we talk a little bit about that? So are you saying that this is also an opportunity for us to reinvent our talent pool as well, right?
Correct. You need
Okay.
to evaluate your talent pool. You need to do like a skills assessment. Do that comparison to the job or the roles or the processes and what you need to deliver on. So
Okay.
you're doing like a skill gap analysis, and then you're going to be looking at the processes to see if there's alignment.
But it sounds like I should do this before I go to market with my new strategy also.
Oh, most definitely. So a part of your strategy and is so key and so important. You need to make sure HR is involved with that. It's not about payroll, not just about performance, but you need to make sure you have the people to deliver on what you're trying to do. I have this mantra where I said that the success of your organization pretty much are the people who contribute to it every day.
Yeah.
We got technology, that's one fixed parameter. But
Okay.
just think about it. One of the parameters that are not fixed is your people.
Okay.
They can be groomed, they can be developed, they can be changed, new people can be brought in.
Okay.
So, yes.
So can you just elaborate a little bit more on the employee development component? So how would I approach that, or like what's the first or second couple of steps in creating some sort of employee development plan?
Well, let's just hope as a part of your performance evaluation and the plan that you put in place with them, you are including some level of development. So
Okay.
you should hopefully be evaluating what the previous plan was against what the new plan is. But let's just start from scratch and say you have not really done that.
Mhm.
So once you decide now what you're going to focus on from a business standpoint, and you understand the positions that you need, so you then do your job description and then look at the actual skills that are needed and then assess your people based on those skills. I think one of the key things that we need to think about is your employees don't always share with you what they have the capabilities to do. They will share what they have the capabilities to do in reference to that specific job. But good employees, leading talent, should be always developing themselves, doing that lifelong learning. So they should be staying abreast of what's going on in the industry and developing themselves along the way as well.
Okay.
As well as you.
So am I hearing you say that it's also the employee's responsibility to keep their skill set sharp and intact and up to speed?
I'd like to say it's 100, not 50-50. Everyone should be putting in 100% to make sure that happens. The employers do what they can do to support that, but more importantly, you own your brand and you own your career. That's on the individual.
I understand. That's very powerful because I know that there's been like this, and I'm gonna call it a rescue mentality that, there's, funds available to help, which is great. There's, different, unemployment and things like that. But what's after that? Like what's next, right? So this is a short-term problem, hopefully. But, we have to create what sounds like what you're describing is more of a long-term plan about what our career direction and even the talent direction that we're looking for in our corporations.
Right. And I tell, oftentimes we do a lot around outplacement services and career services. So as far as the individual, I tell people when they're going through the interview process, on your forehead is the word problem solver. If we're hiring, we have a problem. So
Oh,
you need to be prepared to be the solution to the problems that we have, which
wow.
means you need to come with a set of skill, the knowledge, not to say that they shouldn't be helping you with the growth, because any position that you're in, you not only just want to be qualified, you want to have room for growth as well.
Mhm.
So that's the other thing the employer needs to be looking at, the level of the employee that they want to bring in, or the talent or the candidate that they would like to bring in. But the key thing is the employer has the problem, the candidate is the solution provider.
I love that. I love that. And
Yes,
so now as an employee, I should be proactive about what my employer's current problems are, right? And maybe
correct.
even get involved in where the pivot is going and volunteer myself where I think I can fill in gaps or, suggest some areas that would be of interest to me and would utilize the skills that I have. Yes.
I would even go so far as to say, not just an interest, I would say you need to be a value add. What value are you bringing to the organization?
Ah,
That's going to make you attractive.
okay. I like that. I like that. So if an organization is looking to develop more of these type of plans or getting your assistance in looking at their pivot and what their talent pool looks like, what's the best way to connect with you, or do you have additional resources to offer?
Oh, yes, definitely. A couple of things. You can definitely find us at www.mcphersonberry.com. That's McPhersonberry.com. And I have a place where you can schedule a one-on-one with us to kind of discuss what your business needs are. And we'll do a 30-minute consultation with you to see if it'll be a fit for us to be your HR partner. And I always say partner because it's not about us offloading or you bringing us in and us being just part of the team. We need to be your partner. We need to understand your business. Where is it that you're trying to go? And be that strength behind making sure you can deliver on that and providing that capacity to
Yes.
deliver on what your plans are.
I love that. Okay. No, thank you for that. I know that in a previous session we had a employment lawyer on the show to kind of describe to some of us the other responsibilities that employers has. So with added complement of you understanding our strategies, understanding our objectives as business owners, or you also do career development as well.
Right. So just think about it like this. We provide HR outsourced services. So if your organization does not have an HR department, we can help facilitate and set up an HR department, or we can become your HR department. So it's not just about payroll. We can help you with the hiring, the recruiting, and then we also have the talent development area where we can provide training and development, as well as do some outplacement services. Unfortunately, right now, some people are in the process of laying off, and that's where those outplacement services come in.
Okay.
But if you're looking at now, how do you make sure that you have the right talent? We can help you with their skill assessment, and we can help you put those plans together with your talent and what your org chart needs to look like and your new support system in order to make sure that happens.
Oh, that's beautiful, LaSonya. Well, thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom today. I mean, I like the fact that you gave us actionable things that we need to do as business owners, and you've even given some onus to the employees to things that they can do to better be a value add to the
Right.
organization. Thank you so much, LaSonya.
No problem. The key thing is just to remember, no one person has all the solutions. It's going to be a partnership between the employer, the employee, and of course, HR.
All right. Thank you, McPherson Berry. Appreciate that. And then I just hope as things further develop and, you possibly get new information about the HR industry that you're invited back to share. So I'm hoping that we could count on you for that as well. So thank you.
No problem. And I'll give you some information that you can share with your listeners. We have an HR virtual summit coming up. So we're going to be looking at how to support organizations in all aspects of HR through our summit.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, yes, please share that information. It'll be in the description box below. We'll include your links. And we appreciate all of you being on the road to recovery with us today. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.